from a philosophical standpoint, I like workforce housing. So I like the low end. I like the high end. I don't want to be in the squishy middle. So I don't want to be JCPenney. I don't want to be Sears. Please don't sue me. I don't want to be I do not want to be a middle market person, a person who is going after the middle class United States. If you understand macroeconomics, you understand the way that our monetary system works, that there's a hollowing out of people who only make their money from labor sources. That's a fancy way of saying that if all you do is work for wages, every year you get poorer. So I want to be on the lower end where people are either falling. In a bad economy, the middle class is falling to it. In a good economy, the poor are moving up to it. Okay. So right now we have a good economy. So the poor are moving up and have a little bit more aspiration in terms of the things that they're buying. Or I want to be on the high end, right? So rich people don't care about recessions. They're going to spend on their wants, their luxuries, their vacations, and those kinds of things. So I don't want to be in the middle. So we start there. And so then we say, okay, what does that look like in different asset classes and different product types, right? So personally, we don't necessarily look at A-class apartments, right? That is really the middle, not the super high end. And you build too many of those, there's not enough income growth to support the level of rent that you have to pay for that to make sense, right? So we'll start there. Then when we talk about market, now we're talking about geographic location. So now we're saying, do we have the drivers that make sense? Do we have positive job growth or positive net migration? What people don't necessarily realize is the baby boomers are also migrating to the South and to the Sun Belt. So even though you don't necessarily need a place that has a job, they're bringing their incomes. They're bringing their 401k dollars, they're bringing their Social Security dollars into marketplaces, especially Central Florida, Southern Florida, Panhandle of Florida, all the way through Arizona, that even though there might not be quote unquote job growth, there still is income coming into the marketplace from other places. And so that's kind of a step down you may want to look at, so that there are places that are growing, even though the job growth may not be robust. The net migration in by people who have incomes from their investment portfolio may be bolstering it. Same thing ends up happening in markets that are vacation markets. There are huge vacation markets that are growing gangbusters right now because the baby boomers have disposable income and they're traveling in big groups. So we'll look at, hospitality projects that have 2 and 3 bedrooms. We'll look at, those kinds of things, right? So now that's kind of a big market overview.